Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, growing pressure on the White House, wildfire evacuations, and a sweet surprise ahead of a major debut. On the defense, President Trump's national security team downplaying after details for an attack were inadvertently shared with a journalist on a text chain as Democrats call for Defense Secretary Hegseth to resign. This morning, what National Security Advisor Mike Waltz is saying and the new questions raised were American troops put at risk.
On edge, mandatory evacuations overnight as strong winds fuel the wildfires burning in the Carolinas, scorching thousands of acres.
Chilling new video of the deadly mass shooting in New Mexico. What police say really happens at these unsanctioned car shows and what we know about the suspects. One of them just 15.
Time share to time served. The Michigan couple in prison in Mexico for 22 days in a dispute over their vacation rental and what their daughter is saying this morning.
New details in the death of former Yankees star Brett Gardner's son, what happened after he fell ill, and what authorities have now ruled out.
ABC News exclusive. One of the alleged victims of the former Michigan football coach accused of stealing personal data of over 150,000 student athletes tells her story as she files a lawsuit.
New warning from attorneys general across the country about 23andMe, urging users to take action. So many did that the website crashed. This morning, how to protect your privacy.
And stepping up.
Made the roster.
The majorly moving call up to the majors, just in time for opening day.
Live from Times Square, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
I love it when they're able to show their emotions like that, as it should be. Good morning, America. We're going to tell you more about that 22-year-old player and his very proud parents.
Let's play. They are coming true. We play ball. It's all good. And we've got a lot to get to this morning, including Social Security concerns with another big change on the way.
But we do begin here with the latest fallout from the national security breach in the Trump administration. A reporter mistakenly invited to a group chat about an attack on Yemen on a widely available messaging app.
And top intelligence officials face questions, as you can imagine, on Capitol Hill as the president defended his national security advisor. Our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, has the latest for us. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. This morning, all eyes once again on the White House. This has been an extraordinary 24 hours with the president and some of his most senior cabinet officials trying to brush off this story by attacking the reporter Jeffrey Goldberg. But Goldberg did not seek out this explosive story. He was handed it.
This morning, The Atlantic calling the Trump administration's bluff, publishing the entire text chain between the administration's national security team on the operational plan for this month's U.S. attack on Iranian-backed Houthis. A new article from editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg shared the detailed text from Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, sending the group a rundown of the operation from the time F-18 fighter jets would launch to when the first bombs would drop, and the time Tomahawk missiles would launch. The Atlantic also publishing most of the names of the people included in the chat. This morning, the White House doubling down on claims these were not war plans. President Trump's national security team on the defensive, with Democrats now calling for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's resignation, the secretary trying to deflect any blame and downplay that extraordinary security breach, where Hegseth reportedly shared highly sensitive operational plans in a group chat about this month's U.S. attack on Iranian-backed Houthis.
Nobody's texting more plans. I know exactly what I'm doing, exactly what we're directing, and I'm really proud of what we accomplished, the successful missions that night and going forward.
Just hours earlier, President Trump's national security advisor Mike Waltz saying the blame lies with him.
I take full responsibility. I built the group.
In the White House with President Trump, Waltz unable to explain how journalist Jeffrey Goldberg from The Atlantic was invited into the chat group where war plans were laid out.
I've never met, don't know, never communicated with, and we are and we are looking into and reviewing how the heck he got into this room.
President Trump last night in an interview with Newsmax with his own theory.
What it was, we believe, is somebody that was on the line with permission, somebody that was with Mike Waltz, worked for Mike Waltz at a lower level, had, I guess, Goldberg's number or called through the app, and somehow this guy ended up on the call.
Goldberg says it was Waltz himself who added him to the chat on the app Signal, where he says he saw texts from Hegseth that laid out specific war plans, saying the plan included precise information about weapons packages, targets, and timing.
There was no classified information, as I understand it. They used a app, if you want to call it an app, that a lot of people use, a lot of people in government use, a lot of people in the media use.
Signal is an encrypted commercial messaging app, but it's not clear to transmit classified information or presumably highly sensitive war plans. National security officials are told to rely instead on secure rooms at the White House and elsewhere. In 2021, a Pentagon internal watchdog report found Signal to be an unauthorized means of communicating sensitive information and breached the department's records retention policies. But even though the Trump administration is trying to deflect blame, Democrats on the Hill are pressing for accountability, grilling intelligence officials on Tuesday.
This is utterly unprofessional. There's been no apology.
It's an embarrassment. Senator, you need to do better. You need to do better.
Demanding answers from the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, and CIA Director John Ratcliffe, two officials who were on that Signal chain. The growing scandal even has some Republicans breaking ranks with the administration.
What do you make of the White House saying that no war plans were shared, criticizing the reporter?
That's baloney. I don't think they ought to just be honest and own up to it.
Gabbard and Ratcliffe will be back on the Hill today facing more questions, and the controversy could grow. The White House confirming this morning that Elon Musk's team is now involved in efforts that the White House says will make communications more secure and efficient. Robin?
So many layers to this story. All right, Martha, thank you. Now to concerns about the Trump administration's plans for Social Security, as the president's pick to head the Social Security Administration faced tough questions in his confirmation hearing. Our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, is tracking the latest at the White House. Good morning, Rachel.
Robin, good morning to you. And President Trump's pick to lead the Social Security Administration was in the hot seat on Capitol Hill, and he did face some tough questions from Democrats about whether he would reject calls from Elon Musk and others in the administration to make sweeping changes to the agency that 72 million Americans rely on. So President Trump has tapped Frank Bisignano, a Wall Street executive, to lead the agency. And if confirmed, he would lead the Social Security Administration as Musk and his team at the Department of Government Efficiency look to make sweeping changes across the federal government. Now, advocates warn that Social Security is already understaffed. The administration has announced plans to cut 12% of the agency's workforce. Nearly 3,000 employees have committed to leaving so far. And just weeks ago, Musk suggested that it could be a primary target as he tries to reduce government spending. Now, the White House is pushing back on that. And Trump's pick to lead the agency, once described himself as a Doge person, did try to distance himself from what's been happening inside the agency, promising to protect payments and review any actions that have been taken by Doge. Robin.
And Rachel, in less than 1 week, we know that there's another big change that is coming to Social Security as well.
Yeah, this is a significant change, Robin, and it does start on March 31st. Americans will no longer be able to verify their identity over the phone. They will have to show up in person at a field office. Now, advocates warn that this agency is already understaffed, so this, coupled with people leaving the agency, will only lead to longer wait times, more people showing up in person, and they also warn that some senior Americans in more rural areas could have difficulty showing up to those field offices, Robin.
Well, that's true. All right, Rachel, thank you. Whit?
Robin, now to Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife, Usha Vance, heading to Greenland, which President Trump has said should become part of the U.S. Our senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang, has more. And Selena, plenty of intrigue with this visit. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Whit. Yeah, this is a very controversial visit. Vice President J.D. Vance now says he's joining his wife for a trip to Greenland later this week. Vance will be visiting a U.S. missile defense base on the island as part of an effort, he says, to reinvigorate Greenland's security. Now, in his statement announcing this trip, Vance accuses Denmark, which owns Greenland, for ignoring the island. Vance says that's bad for the security of the entire world. This trip comes as President Trump has repeatedly vowed to make Greenland a part of the United States, even refusing to rule out using military force to do so. So the question here, guys, is why is President Trump so interested in Greenland? Well, he says it's critical for American national security. The island is strategically located. It is rich in rare minerals, and there are concerns about China and Russia's influence in the region. But Greenland has made it clear they are not for sale and they don't want this trip to happen. Initially, the second lady was supposed to go to Greenland to promote cultural ties. The Prime Minister of Greenland blasting that trip as very aggressive American pressure. Robin?
All right, Selena, our thanks to you. And so many people are going online to learn more about Greenland. But now the mandatory evacuations as wildfires rage in the Carolinas with powerful wind gusts threatening to spread the flames even more. Ginger, got the forecast for us?
I do. So mandatory evacuations are in South Carolina on the Table Rock Complex fire. You can see it here clearly from the reservoir. It's very eerie to see that fire coming right up to the water. More than 3,000 acres in that complex, and that's the acreage burned so far. You go to North Carolina, this is the Black Cove complex. 3 different fires, 2 of which they still really don't have much containment on. This has taken 11 homes, meaning destroyed them. So a lot of dry air has been in place. We're talking relative humidities were lower than 20% yesterday. We should do that again today, and that's part of the problem. But you add the downsloping winds off of the mountains, and that's why from Hagerstown, Maryland, right down to Atlanta, we have red flag warnings. That means elevated fire danger. You do not want to be burning anything. The smoke that's coming from that complex is going to be over I-26 potentially today, so just watch for that. It will turn and the winds will lighten a bit on Thursday. When we're there, Lake Lure, one of the other communities so hard hit by Helene, could be seeing some of that smoke.
And it's those outlying areas.
Yes.
We're talking about Asheville, and rightfully so, but we have to keep in mind the outlying areas
Absolutely.
that you just mentioned. And Ginger just said it. Ginger, Sam, and I are going to be heading to Asheville this morning to see how the area is recovering 6 months after Hurricane Helene devastated that area. We'll be there live tomorrow with community members to see how far they've come and what's still ahead for them, and we're looking forward to bringing everybody that.
Yeah, and that community's been through so much. Yes. They've done so much to rebuild. I'm really thrilled that we're shining a light there, Robin. Thank you. And we're going to turn now to that newly released video. The moment gunfire rang out in the deadly mass shooting in New Mexico. Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman joins us with the latest. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Rebecca. We now know that 2 groups of people at an unsanctioned car meet had a dispute and opened fire. Police say they blasted 59 rounds, hitting their targets, hitting bystanders. And those videos and the 911 calls are blood-curdling. They give you a sense of the chaos of those moments as first responders try to administer aid to the victims.
This morning, that chilling new video of the moment that gun battle erupted in Las Cruces, New Mexico, which left 3 dead and more than a dozen injured. Gunfire shattering the night at this unsanctioned car show, where authorities say a dispute between multiple gunmen from opposing groups escalated into a firefight at a local park.
Oh my God, I just witnessed a murder.
Frantic 911 calls detailing the horror.
Young Park, people got shot. Young Park, Young Park.
Police body camera video rolling as officers treat multiple victims, including a woman who was shot in the neck.
Stand up. You're going to be okay. I need you to calm down, okay? Okay, breathe.
Police recovering 59 shell casings from the scene. And authorities pointing to videos like this one where men can be seen brandishing AR-style rifles outfitted with flashlights to illuminate car stunts.
There's a lot of stuff that's happening at these car meets that is extremely dangerous and irresponsible. Guns are involved where they're just out, they're used for different purposes, and no one bats an eye.
4 suspects, all but one of them juveniles, currently behind bars on murder charges.
And one of those suspects is only 15 years old. Now, New Mexico's governor has said the state needs to address the soaring rate of violent crime especially among juveniles. In Las Cruces alone, violent crime has spiked 46% just in 2024. Rebecca.
That is a staggering statistic. Okay, Matt, thank you. We're going to turn now to the state of the economy. Consumer confidence touching its lowest level in more than a decade. Unemployment remains low, but fears of a recession are deepening. And Trevor Ault is here with details on a new survey. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Rebecca. Maybe not a surprise, but consumers are feeling less optimistic about their finances and the overall economy. This is from the latest survey from the Conference Board. For the fourth month in a row, consumer confidence fell. It is now at a 12-year low. And this matters because 70% of the economy is consumer spending. If people stop spending, that's what investors fear could lead to a recession. This is part of the reason the stock market has been particularly volatile the past few weeks. If Trump's tariffs raise prices, people could pull back their spending. In fact, Walmart, McDonald's, Dollar Tree, they say people are already pulling back their spending. Meantime, Goldman Sachs hiked its odds of a recession from 15 to 20%. Moody Analytics put the chances of a recession in the next year at 35%. Now, having said all that, we should remember there are still many strong key economic metrics: positive job growth, historic low unemployment rate, and inflation well below the peak in 2022. But we have to be careful, Robin.
All right. Thanks to you. I know you were taking notes over there.
Always.
Always. Thank you. Now to women's sports reaching new heights. Lara is here with that story for us. Good morning.
A good morning to you, Robin. It is boom time in women's sports with record-setting crowds cheering on the sidelines of multiple sports, and now it's reflected in the bottom line. A new report from the financial services company Deloitte saying women's sports are set to generate $2.35 billion globally this year alone. That's a 25% increase from last year, and the first time that women's sports have made more than $1 billion in a single year. So congratulations,
Love
ladies.
to see it.
So what is driving all of the growth? In a word, basketball. The WNBA is expected to account for $1 billion of business all on its own. Last year, rookie superstars Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese took the league by storm, generating massive interest and merchandise sales. Their sophomore seasons are expected to create even more excitement. And then, of course, the league is set for another infusion of young talent after March Madness, with UConn star Paige Beckers expected to be the top pick in next month's draft.
Yeah.
No surprise there.
The Dallas Wings have the top pick, and I think they're looking at Paige.
Yeah, Paige, I hope you like Texas.
Thanks so much, Lara. Coming up, Aaron Katursky is here with a new warning from attorney generals across the country. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Robin. This involves 23andMe. It's now bankrupt. What these law enforcement officials say millions of users need to do right now to protect themselves.
Aaron, thank you. Also ahead this morning, a vacation nightmare, how one couple ended up in a maximum security prison after a dispute over their rental.
And some new details on the death of the 14-year-old son of former Yankees star Brett Gardner, what we are learning about the night when he fell ill. Coming up, guys, this is a very sweet story, the surprise ahead of opening day. You have to see it. It is our play of the day, and it'll make you feel good. We'll be right back.
The sun goes down. We'll be grooving when the sun goes down. Feeling all right.
I love that man. Kenny Chesney rocking our summer concert series back in 2013. Still remember it like it was yesterday. And this morning, two big celebrations for Kenny. First, it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Kenny.
Birthday.
Yes, happy
And
birthday.
second, a big honor is coming his way. You're going to find out about it in Pop News with Lara.
We are looking forward to
wait.
that. I'm looking forward to seeing him in Vegas coming up. But first, the new at 7:30, the U.S. says Ukraine and Russia have reached a deal on safeguarding shipping in the Black Sea. The agreement follows 3 days of talks in Saudi Arabia. Ukraine's president says the deal is an initial step toward ending the Russia-Ukraine war. And police body cam footage showing the arrest of a suspected art thief in Arizona. He's accused of trying to steal pieces by Picasso and Andy Warhol. The trial is scheduled to begin next month.
Plus, remember Napster, that service that pioneered music sharing? We were talking about it this morning.
We do. Yep.
Yep, and digital piracy. This was more than 25 years ago. It's been sold for $207 million now. The service reemerged as subscription service. Now its new owner hopes to transform it again into a social music platform where artists can connect with fans. Still have some of those mixtapes with slow jams still in the basement.
Oh, no.
Yes. All right. And take a look at this here. University of Tennessee softball star Carlin Pickens knows how to throw some heat, and this one is the hottest yet. That pitch right there, clocking in at 78.2 miles per hour, the fastest softball pitch ever recorded, and helping her Lady Vols win 3-2 over Arkansas. Pickens saying after the game, at first I was just super excited to celebrate with my team, but then I got kind of emotional. All the work put in by the pitching staff, everyone that's helped coach me.
Yeah.
It's all about the team at the end.
That's what?
Yeah.
Congratulations to her. Now we have the latest on the death of the son of former Yankee star Brett Gardner. Trevor Ault is back with what police in Costa Rica are now saying. Good morning.
Good morning again. So we're starting to fill in the timeline here. There were a lot of questions, but there's some new leads that investigators are looking into. Still, it could be months before we know what caused the mysterious death of this 14-year-old on vacation.
This morning, new details in the investigation into the sudden death of the son of former baseball star Brett Gardner. A Costa Rican source close to the investigation tells ABC News last week, the night before 14-year-old Miller's death, the family went to dinner at a restaurant near their resort, after which multiple family members fell ill. The hotel says they called in a medical team to treat them at the resort, but Miller died in his sleep early the next morning. Authorities initially thought he died of asphyxiation, but have now ruled it out, instead looking into what made him and his family sick and whether he may have been allergic to the medicine he was given. In a statement, the resort tells ABC News the hotel staff dispatched a medical team immediately, including a licensed doctor, which arrived to handle the emergency situation. They have said they are fully cooperating with the investigation.
The autopsy is extremely important, especially in a case like this. So it's going to look for signs of organ damage, infection, any possible underlying conditions that may have been undiagnosed and may have contributed to this.
That could take some time. Costa Rican police say there may be a 2 to 3 month wait for the autopsy results because of a backlog caused by Costa Rica's high number of homicides. Authorities have stressed that as the cause of death investigation continues, at this point, they don't believe Miller's death is suspicious.
And officials now say they ruled out asphyxiation because Miller's respiratory tract was clear. So they don't know if he was killed by a reaction to the illness, the medication, or some other condition flaring up. All of this is going to hinge on the autopsy results.
Just so tragic, and we hope the family gets some answers soon. Okay, Trevor, thank you. Thanks. We turn now to genetic testing company 23andMe and the new warning across the country for customers to delete their data. Our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky, is here with more. And there's a lot of attention on this one, Aaron. Good morning.
It sure is, Rebecca. The way some in law enforcement see it, in fact, the bankruptcy of 23andMe could pose a personal information nightmare. So this morning, New York Attorney General Letitia James and other state attorneys general are urging users to log in, delete their data, and request destruction of their DNA samples. At one point, so many users tried to do this, the site seemed to go down. So if there are any problems, call your state attorney general's office. You should get confirmation from the company that your request went through. Millions of Americans tracing their ancestry and their susceptibility to hereditary diseases have entrusted their data and their DNA to this genetic testing company. And there's no telling what would happen to all that genetic information if 23andMe finds a buyer. The company promises to safeguard information, insisting there are no changes to the way the company stores, manages, or protects consumer data. But 23andMe filed for bankruptcy because it could not recover from a data breach in 2023 that exposed 7 million user profiles. And remember, Whit, makers of home DNA kits like 23andMe are not subject to HIPAA laws that assure medical privacy.
Yeah, so many people trying to figure out what to do next. Aaron, thank you. We move now to former Michigan football coach who pleaded not guilty to stealing the personal information of thousands of student athletes. This morning, we're hearing exclusively from one of the alleged victims. Stephanie Ramos is here with that story. Stephanie, good morning.
Wait, good morning. Two victims who are former University of Michigan student athletes have now come forward and are suing the former assistant football coach, alleging their privacy was invaded by the breach. One victim speaking exclusively with ABC News, saying she's frightened about where exactly her information may have ended up.
This morning, former University of Michigan assistant football coach Matthew Weiss is fighting federal charges, alleging he stole the personal and medical data of over 150,000 student athletes, many of them female.
Do you have anything to say?
One alleged victim, Jane Doe, speaking exclusively with ABC News. We've distorted her voice at her request.
For me, wanting to be a part of it is there needs to be accountability.
She and another unnamed former student athlete at the University of Michigan are suing Weiss, the school, and a data firm, alleging they failed to supervise Weiss, review his conduct, and left him free to prey on plaintiffs and others.
When he was arrested, and I had a feeling that there was something, obviously it was something terrible, but never once did I think that it could involve me and my peers. I can't wrap my head around a scenario where a football coach needs to have access to any of that information about any athlete or student.
The university is not commenting on the lawsuit, and Weiss has not responded to our request.
McCarthy sprints out of the pocket, throws, caught!
The 42-year-old former quarterbacks coach for the Michigan Wolverines pleading not guilty to 14 counts of unauthorized computer access and 10 counts of identity theft.
The indictment shares a lot of information, and we plan through civil lawsuits to find out more, to be able to protect those students whose information was violated.
Earlier this week, Weiss was released on a $10,000 unsecured bond. He was also ordered to turn over his passport and allow officials to install software on his computers to monitor internet use. Weiss faces decades in prison if found guilty, guys. But this is such an incredible story. So much sensitive information out there. And the victim that we spoke with says she's just frightened. She doesn't know where her information is. It may be on the dark web. It's unclear.
Alarming case. Pilgrim is here with the details. A wild story, Eva. Good morning.
Yeah, well, these Michigan grandparents thought this dispute with a timeshare company was over, but it wasn't. And now their family begging for help to bring them home.
This morning, a Michigan couple jailed in Mexico over charges from a timeshare dispute.
These are real people with family who have done nothing wrong. They're innocent people.
Mexican authorities telling ABC News they arrested Christy and Paul Akeo, both 60 years old, for fraud to a hotel chain shortly after they landed at the airport in Cancun for a family vacation. The couple has been held now for 22 days by state police.
She's terrified. She tells us every single day, every single phone call, how scared she is. She obviously cries a lot.
A lawyer for the Akeos said this started because they signed up for a timeshare with Palace Resorts, which has resorts in Mexico and an office in Florida. But they say when the resort didn't allow them to use their time as promised, they disputed the contract and reached out to their credit card company to dispute the charges.
American Express found for the Akeos, found for Linsey's parents, and refunded them over $100,000 of wrongful charges.
But Mexican authorities seeing that refund instead as the cancellation of 13 transactions, which were done maliciously by not recognizing the charges, referencing this Facebook post obtained by ABC News. In the post, Christy walks other timeshare owners through how to get out of the charges. Mexican authorities say this post described how they committed fraud.
There is clearly no length that they are not willing to go to make an example. And that is exactly what is happening here, on top of corruption and extortion. And the fact that, this has gone on now for 3 full weeks, it's time for it to be done.
This morning, their family desperate to get them home. Their only glimpse of how they are doing, 5-minute phone calls with Christy and this photo. They haven't been able to talk to Paul. A judge recently giving the timeshare company 6 more months to gather evidence to make their case while holding the couple behind bars.
Now, ABC News asked the timeshare company for comment. They had no response. The State Department confirming to ABC News that it is aware of the situation. But as you can imagine, their daughter just wants her parents home.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, Eva. Thank you.
Now with our play of the day and a major family moment for one young baseball player who's been looking forward to this, Lara.
Yeah, this would make any mom's day. Check this out. When a baseball prospect gets called up to the majors, one of his first calls is usually to his parents to share the news. But watch this feel-good moment as Houston Astros manager Joe Espada makes it all the sweeter for top prospect Cam Smith, bringing his family to the clubhouse to be there when Cam hears the news. Take a look.
I always said, if someone tells me, Joe, you're going to the big leagues, who will be the first person you will call? I say my mom, my dad, my family. I'm going to make a phone call to someone, and that someone's going to come out here. Hello? Are you here?
I mean, I'm going to cry right now. The coach letting Cam's mom, Stephanie, deliver the big news that he was making the opening day roster, guys. The Astros posting these photos that you'll see here of the emotional moment, writing "built for the big leagues." Cam told reporters that when he was growing up, his mom worked so hard and struggled to make sure he got to baseball games and to practices. He was so happy that she could be there to share in the moment that he said was equally hers. Smith has been described as a 22-year-old phenom, by the way. He's had an amazing spring training. His batting average is .342. He's got 4 homers and 15 appearances.
Ooh.
Look for Cam Smith, guys, tomorrow when the Astros host the Mets in their home opener. So
way to go, Mom.
So
Yeah.
okay, I'm so happy
Yes.
for Mom.
And happy for the coach to do that.
Yeah.
Good call.
Quality people there.
That's it. Thank you, Larry, for sharing that. Oh, coming up, chef and host of Instant Italian, Anna Francese Gass, with easy sheet pan dinner recipes and the hack for getting your chicken to crisp perfectly.
Oh, we're eating, guys.
I need that.
We're eating.
I need it.
Again. Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Recession fears deepen. The state of consumer confidence this morning. And questions about the potential ripple effect if the president's tariffs raise prices.
Ben Affleck setting the record straight. The Oscar winner on his career and personal life. What he's saying about his relationship with Jennifer Lopez and how he co-parents with Jennifer Gardner.
It's gonna be a good day.
And the very funny Michelle Buteau is here.
I was a zombie and now I'm back from the dead.
Talking about the new season of her hit show, Survival of the Thickest.
I got this.
And she's saying,
Good morning, America.
live from Times Square, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
It's going to be a good morning. She is a hoot. Tori Johnson is here for more spring refresh deals and steals, from pet grooming to home cleaning and so much more. The price is starting at less than $10.
And also ahead, Dr. Tara Narula is here with the new study on how exercise could help ease postpartum depression. She'll tell us what it takes to make a real difference.
Yes, some important information there. And Robin, you're about to head to Asheville, North Carolina. This, of course, to mark 6 months since Hurricane Helene devastated parts of the South.
Bags are packed and already in the car. I'm going to head out because we're going to meet the heroes working hard to get residents back in their homes and rebuild their city. What they are doing. Yes, we will have a few surprises for them as well, all to acknowledge and celebrate how Asheville is rising. Yes, they have a long way to go, but we want to show the progress that they have made. So I'll be with Ginger and Sam, and we'll see you live there tomorrow morning.
And we're so glad you are all going and taking that trip. You got to get moving,
I
Robin,
know,
if you're going to make
Go
that
ahead.
flight. We're going to head to the top stories now, breaking at 8, starting with the state of the economy. Consumer confidence touching its lowest level in more than a decade. Unemployment remains low still as fears of recession are deepening. And Trevor Ault is back with more details on a new study. Good morning again, Trevor.
Good morning again, Rebecca. We've certainly heard this from a lot of people, but the data backs it up. Consumers are feeling less optimistic about their finances and the overall economy. And this is from the latest survey from the Conference Board. For the 4th month in a row, consumer confidence fell. It's now at a 12-year low. And you can certainly understand why, with the talk of tariffs, inflation, a possible recession, Americans are anxious about their financial futures. And that anxiety can actually make the economy worse, kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, as consumer sentiment can indicate how people will or won't spend their money. 70% of the economy is consumer spending. So people stop spending. That's what investors fear could lead to a recession. This is part of the reason that the stock market has been particularly volatile the past few weeks. If Trump's tariffs raise prices, people could pull back their spending. Walmart, McDonald's, Dollar Tree, they say people are already pulling back their spending. Meantime, Goldman Sachs hiked its odds of a recession from 15 up to 20%, and Moody Analytics put the chances of a recession in the next year at 35%. Now, we should remember there are still many strong key economic metrics: positive job growth, historic low unemployment rate, and inflation that's well below the peak in 2022. We're also going to have to see what happens next week when additional tariffs kick in. That's on April 2nd. Guys.
Yeah, a lot of people waiting to see what happens next. Trevor, thank you. Now to the doctor arrested in Hawaii, accused of trying to kill his wife. Rhiannon Alley is here with the details. Rhiannon, good morning.
Hey, Whit, good morning to you. The details of this alleged attack are pretty shocking, especially when you hear why police say the prominent doctor attacked his wife during a scenic hike on a trail in Hawaii and then left her to die, allegedly. Now, 46-year-old anesthesiologist Gerhard Koenig is in custody this morning. Authorities say he tried to push his wife off a cliff while walking on Oahu's east coast and then reportedly hit her with a rock in her head. And it was all reportedly because she didn't want to take a picture with him. She survived with serious injuries to her face and her head. It was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Now, police say Koenig fled that scene and was arrested after more than a 6-hour manhunt and a brief chase. Charges are pending in this case, so there is no word yet when Koenig will be in court. Pretty terrible accusations against someone she was supposed to be able to trust, guys.
Yeah, a lot of attention there. Okay, Rhiannon, thank you. We're going to turn now to a GMA health alert for new moms struggling with postpartum depression. New research indicates exercise could help cut their risk for postpartum depression in half. And our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula, is here with more. Good morning. A lot of interest in this study. What does the research tell us?
Good morning. Yes. Well, as a mother of 2 girls, I've been through this twice.
Yes.
The postpartum period can be amazing. You have this new life, but it can also be really challenging and difficult. So, Rebecca, what if there was something as simple as moving more that could have real benefits in that vulnerable time for women in those first few weeks? Well, that's what this research study showed, that actually simply about 2 hours of exercise per week could have big benefits. This is moderate to vigorous exercise with some resistance. What are the benefits? Well, a potential reduction in postpartum depression by about a half, which we know affects about 10 to 15% of women. Also, a reduction by about a third of urinary leakage, improvements in fatigue, anxiety, lumbar and pelvic pain, improvements in body mass index, and even your cholesterol levels, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes. As a cardiologist, I love saying that.
Yes.
Also, it did not seem to matter whether you had a vaginal delivery or a C-section. And one thing that a lot of moms worry about, it did not seem to affect the breast milk supply or cause injury.
Well, and I wondered about that because I had an emergency C-section. 2 hours can be a lot, especially after something like that. How do you recommend women do that?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot, but when you break it down, we're talking about essentially 30 minutes at least 4 days a week or more. And this doesn't have to mean that you have to get a gym subscription. You can simply build this into your day. So a brisk walk, cycling, yoga, Pilates, go out with the stroller, do some resistance bands at home. There's also some great fitness apps now and online videos. There's even postpartum mommy groups that you can join to do exercise together. So you want to start gradual, really tailor it to you and your symptoms. And of course, if you have any pain, fatigue, dizziness, or complications during your pregnancy, you want to talk to your doctor.
Super helpful. Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
Okay, Whit.
All right, Rebecca, coming up in our GMA morning menu, Ben Affleck, as we've never heard him before on his marriages, divorces, and parenting. What he's saying now about both Jennifer Garner and Jennifer Lopez.
Also ahead, the popularity of the menopause makeover and how some women say it's given them new confidence later in life.
Plus, we're having delicious Italian food this morning with instant Italian host and our friend, Chef Anna Francese Gass. She's making weeknight meals your family will absolutely love, plus sharing some of her favorite food hacks. And Lara's here with a very special guest. Lara.
Hey, we're having a reunion. I've known this woman a long time from Good Afternoon America. Michelle Buteau, comedian, actress, writer, producer, sometimes co-star. You name it. She's doing it. She's here to tell us about her new season of Survival of the Thickest.
Yes.
It's coming up on GMA. Buckle up.
Don't go nowhere.
Wow, that music.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're
gets you
pumping up
going.
the energy because Lara's here, especially excited
I think
about
the
today's
control
top
room's
news.
telling me, come on, pump it
Let's
up.
bring
Let's
it.
do this.
Let's go.
So let's do it, everybody. Good morning to you. We're going to begin with two-time Academy Award winner Ben Affleck. He's getting candid about his life and career in the latest issue of GQ. The actor and director opening up, telling the magazine about his 2-year marriage to Jennifer Lopez, saying he knew that their personalities were very different, explaining, yes, he's more reserved, she's more outgoing, but he knew what he was getting into before getting back together with her. He also talked about filming their documentary, saying he was on board. He said, quote, if I'm going to participate in this, I want to try to do it in an honest way and in a way that's interesting, because I did think it was an interesting examination. He goes on to say that although there were differences in the way they approach life, fame, and the need for privacy, those differences were not the cause of any major relationship fracture. He did not clarify what was. He did acknowledge his close relationship with his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner, saying they joke about all the gossip surrounding them, saying, you know what, I'm really lucky that I have a great co-parent and partner in Jennifer Garner, the kid's mom, who is wonderful and great, and we work together well. And guys, you can read more about Ben's favorite roles, his future career plans, and his upcoming project. It's called The Accountant 2 in April's issue of GQ. It's on newsstands everywhere right now.
Fascinating to see him open up like that.
Yeah.
And respect for parents who can make it work for their kids.
It is critical.
Yep.
It's all put the kids first. And
always.
Yep. Also in pop news this morning, our friend George Clooney, his Broadway show, Good Night and Good Luck, just beat out Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal's Othello for the highest box office in a single week. Congrats, George.
Yeah.
Based on the 2005 film he wrote and directed, Clooney again portrays journalist Edward R. Murrow and his history-making showdown with Senator Joseph McCarthy. The show has made over $3.3 million for just 7 preview performances. It's a serious play, but the audiences get a laugh before it even starts with George's playbill bio that reads, George has never appeared on Broadway, so buckle up. Good Night and Good Luck officially opens on April 3rd at the Winter Garden Theater. Here's the playbill looking handsome.
Oh, wow.
Good luck getting tickets.
Line.
Yes. So great for
The
him.
star power on Broadway right now is incredible,
Oh
too.
my gosh. I saw Sarah Snook last night in her show, The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it on Monday. It's incredible.
Amazing.
Can't wait.
So much good stuff happening in New York. And in country music, Kenny Chesney celebrating his 57th birthday today. Gosh, he's talented.
Happy birthday, Kenny.
Yes. He's also celebrating a big honor. He's just been announced as one of 3 new members of the Country Music Hall of Fame, along with the late June Carter Cash and music producer Tony Brown. As a relative newcomer, I wouldn't call him a newcomer, but I guess compared to other Hall of Famers, Chesney will be inducted into the modern performer category. Tony Brown will be recognized in the non-performer category. He has produced, of course, some of country's biggest names, including Reba, George Strait, and many, many more. And June Carter Cash, she'll be honored posthumously. She won 5 Grammys over the course of her career. She already has a Grammy Hall of Fame induction for Ring of Fire back in 1963. Chesney calling the announcement surreal, telling reporters this is an honor that extends beyond anything his heart would dare think. The official Country Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony takes place in Nashville this fall, and I hope we will be there.
Yes.
Super fan right here.
Super fan of Kenny Chesney, so deserving, and an incredible performer as well.
And a really nice person. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Happy birthday, Kenny.
Happy birthday, Kenny.
This is when we get to eat. Good morning, everybody. Here we are with a chef, food influencer, and host of the new show, Instant Italian, Anna Francese Gass. She's here with some easy sheet pan dinner recipes, perfect for busy weeknights. And we've got Lara, Rebecca, and Ginger over there already getting started on the tasting. So far, so good?
Delish.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to teach you how to do it. Good morning, Anna. It's always great to see you.
You too, you too.
So the best part of this, we got the sheet pan. We're going to make it easy. It's easy to clean. Walk us through it here.
I love
Chicken
a sheet pan.
cacciatore, by the way, right?
Yep. And I love a good sheet pan because it's so easy. Easy cleanup.
I like that too. Easy is for me.
Exactly. So we have some bone-in, skin-on chicken. We're adding oregano, black pepper. I like a little garlic powder, a little onion powder. You know, all your cast of characters for Italian flavorings.
And you put it in the bowl to mix up, right?
Put it in the bowl to mix up. Now, my sheet pan was in the oven while the oven was preheating. So
Wait,
it's
you're
nice
preheating the pan, not just the oven.
Yeah,
okay.
because when you put chicken in a hot frying pan, what do you get? A nice crispy skin, right?
Ooh, okay.
So that's what we're gonna get. So look over here. Look what happened. And I flipped it over, I got that beautiful crust. Now I'm gonna add everything for a cacciatore. We're gonna do our peppers, our onion, and
Looks
of course,
so pretty too, by the way.
just like my dress. I had to match my
Yeah,
food.
of course.
All right.
Protect that dress.
Exactly. So we have all these nice things going on our pan.
Does it matter what kind of chicken that we use, or like?
Great
what piece?
question. You're just going to want something with a nice skin. You could even do chicken wings if you want.
Okay.
But just something with a nice skin.
All right, now the sauce,
the
right?
sauce,
All right, let's
right?
get into it.
So we have capers. We have a chopped tomato. I'm going to do a little bit of paste because that helps thicken it up. Always salt and pep.
How much salt are we putting in?
Pinch.
Just a little razzle dazzle.
Razzle dazzle. You've done this before. And a little bit of wine. This is a sauce that would have simmered for hours on the stove. That's what your Nona would have done. We don't have to do that. We're gonna pour it right in.
Okay.
With our chicken, right?
Nice.
Right?
That's going to go right in our oven. And look what
This is the end result. What do we think? Taste testers?
So good.
Nice.
Delish. So easy.
Right?
That's
yeah, and
the
then it's just
thing.
right in the oven.
I love the mix of
Tastes
flavors
easy.
in
It looks
here.
easy, yeah.
Also, I want to try it with wings because my boys love wings, but we do the same recipe all the time.
Can't go wrong with the wings.
And the wings get nice and crispy.
Yes.
And you have that great garlic crostini.
And let me ask you this, your new show, Instant Italian, produced by Rachel Ray, right?
You might know her.
We know a little something about Rachel Ray. What has she taught you about putting this together for the screen?
You know, before I started shooting the show, she called me. It was really wonderful. We had, you know, a chat. And she said, I just want you to be yourself. No script, just go out there. And that's what I did. In my show, I'm cooking, you're in my kitchen, and it's just as if you were sitting there with me. I'm talking to you about food, why I love food, and tips and tricks.
Well, we've done a bunch of these segments with you, and we love that, and so we're very happy for you.
Thank
We're going to
you.
move on to the next thing, though, because we want to eat some more, because we're talking about pasta
Yeah,
here, and this is
please.
loaded with veggies. Got to get in.
Yep.
Get in. We got a carbo load here.
We're going to carbo load, but we're going to carbo
How do we
load
get
in a healthy
started?
way, and we're going to roast our sauce.
Yeah.
All right? So again, you're going to start with a sheet pan. Go into the crisper, see what doesn't look so great.
Okay.
My cherry tomatoes, they're looking a little old. I made a cacciatore the other day, so I have this leftover pepper and onion. Always garlic.
Sure. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Italian.
We need the garlic.
Look, even my herbs were starting to look a little funny, so I threw those in there too.
Once again, we got all the colors.
Little shimmy, shimmy,
Yeah, it's like the whole
right?
Italian flag in there.
The whole Italian flag. I'm gonna olive
Looks so
oil it.
good.
Always salt and pep. Salt and pep. Get that in there. In the oven. Look what comes out. A beautiful roasted veggie platter, right? All of the nutrients are still there, all the flavor. That's going to go in our food processor with mascarpone, which is an Italian, you know, soft cheese like cream cheese.
very nice.
You could do ricotta if you want.
Cheese, please.
Cheese, please. Little bit of water.
Okay.
Our pasta water from our pastas, nice and starchy.
Yes, that's key. The pasta water. Okay.
Yes.
Me too.
All right, if you forget, you just get a little from the sink.
know.
I won't tell. I won't tell.
So we've
Throw
only got a
this
few
in there.
seconds left, so we put
Puree
that in there.
In here.
That's the sauce,
That's
right?
the sauce.
Look how gorgeous that is.
If you don't have one of those things,
A blender?
Yeah, can you just use a blender?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Or
Blend it
leave
up.
it chunky. That tastes good too.
Okay.
You say you can also like substitute some things, right, to make it dairy-free if you wanted to?
Yes, of course. If you don't want to add the cheese, again, just the veggies with a little pasta water, and you're still going to have a great sauce.
Perfect. And here it is all together.
Well
and the
done,
taste testers, give it a thumbs up.
You say,
Three thumbs
you
up.
have a thing?
Excellent.
Okay, good.
Yep, we got it absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank
we
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Instant Italian airs Monday nights on FYI Network, and you can get all these recipes on GoodMorningAmerica.com. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Rebecca, now that your mouth
really
is full.
fair that I have to leave this food? Thank you guys. Okay,
We'll cover it
we're going
for
to go
you.
now to the second day of our Deals and Steals Spring Refresh. Tori Johnson is here with all the cleaning and organizing products that you need to get your spring cleaning done, and they are from small businesses. As always, we love this, Tori.
I'm sorry, but I'm making you go from eating pasta to now I'm going to make
If
you
I
clean
have
up
to
over
leave
here.
it, I want to come to you, Tori.
Thank
So we're
you.
in good
Thank
we're in
you.
good company now.
All right,
Tell me about this guy.
Grab this broom right
Yes,
here,
yes.
and it's the Broom Bee. And
Okay.
it's one of the easiest ways, just in one swipe, to be able to take away absolutely everything.
Yes.
It's a static electricity that makes sure that it can grab wet and dry messes,
Yes.
glass, eggshells, kind of anything that gets in your way. Things that oftentimes that regular bristle brooms leave behind. And so that's what's special about this. We also have all of their accessories. So if you just need a small one, if you want the dustpan, this time we've got it all, and it's all slashed in half starting at $10.
Excellent. And with I have a 16-month-old at home, as you know, so the cleanup at the floor, I was actually thinking about this last night at dinner. Like, we need a solution.
Yeah,
there it is.
That's it. Okay, look at this one
Yes.
right here. So this is the easiest way to organize stuff at home that often takes up a lot of space.
Yes.
So scarves, hats, purses, belts. All
so
you do,
smart.
it's so smart. It's the easiest thing. It's a little swivel just like this, and it will hang absolutely anywhere. So you can do it in a closet. You could use it in an RV. Any place where you need a little extra storage space and more organization. This rolling hanger is for you. Today, they start at $9.
$9. And it looks kind of chic, too. So you're not, you feel like it looks nice in addition to being helpful.
Exactly.
Okay,
All right.
what do we have
Cleaning
here?
your windows. This
Yes.
is Karcher. It is a window vacuum. So you start with this right here.
Okay.
It has your cleaning
Ah,
fluid
I like
in here.
this.
You're going to spray the window like this, get it all
So
clean.
smart.
Then you use the squeegee. This is a powered squeegee. You're going to use this squeegee to clean it off. And what that's going to do, especially on inside windows windows of a house, it's going to help prevent all that drip. So no drip, no mess. When you use this system,
I like this.
Everything's included.
2 hands.
Right? 2 hands. It kind of makes cleaning fun. 50% off today for this.
It does make it fun. I could see a kid wanting to join me on this one.
That's the whole thing. Get everyone in on the action. Okay, we've got Cydio here. This is the crate that can withstand almost anything. Their team actually took a 6,000-pound truck and rolled it over, and it still maintained its shape.
I'd like to see the video of that, Tori.
I know. It is good.
But it maintained its shape.
It maintained its shape. So it's, again, dense, extreme weather, whatever it is, this is designed to be able to protect. You get 3 different crates, 2 half sizes, 1 big one, and then it comes with this divider that allows you, there's almost 40 different options to be able to customize it based on your specific needs. The stack also looks really chic and nice wherever you're going to put it. 50% off for the kit today.
Perfect. We love that.
Okay. Something else we love, flower paper.
I have so many of these guys.
These bags are so popular around here because it's an easy, chic swap for a disposable. And obviously we like to avoid our plastic and go with this. We also have their blue cloths. You know that I love this. Okay. So do the honor. So hold it up here. Just look at how much is in there. There's a lot. I know. I didn't mean to get you wet.
This is good.
Here's one that you could dry.
This is great.
Great. But it allows you to completely soak up anything. And the idea is that it is so absorbent. We've got sets of both of these alternatives, all slash in half. They start at $12.50 plus free shipping today.
Hallelujah.
From Rock Flower Paper. And then finally, this is really fun. This is if you've got a pet, dog or cat. This is Uproot Clean. And it's an entire system here. So we can either use the electric system like
you're showing me.
I know this one. I have this on here for this is dog grooming.
Dog grooming.
For cleaning, we've got all the attachments for cleaning. These are also incredible attachments for cleaning that will help clean pet hair from literally any surface.
So you're not doing that like pinchy thing where you're trying to get it and it doesn't work.
All 50% off today.
Thank you so much, Tori. Grooming and cleaning. We've partnered with all these companies on all these deals, and you can go to goodmorningamerica.com to find all these offers. Tori's going to be back tomorrow with more spring refresh deals and steals. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
And we're back now with the growing trend of menopause makeovers. Eva Pilgrim is back with how women are finding confidence later in life. Good morning, Eva.
Hey, Lara. Most women enter menopause somewhere between 45 and 55. Long gone are the days where 50 looks or feels like a golden girl. And that shift is showing up at the plastic surgeon's office, with more women coming in for what's being called menopause makeovers.
After having 3 children, gaining a lot of weight, losing a lot of weight, and then going through menopause, which was the biggest culprit, just wasn't happy with the way I looked.
6 years after losing her husband, 65-year-old Anna Navallo was re-entering the dating scene when she decided to undergo a breast augmentation.
It was one of the best things I ever did. I gained so much from it, confidence. It really kind of empowered me.
Navallo, just one of the growing number of women undergoing menopause makeovers.
In my practice, a lot of facelifts, neck lifts, breast reductions, actually, which is a little bit different than we see with mommy makeovers, tummy tucks, liposuction of stubborn areas of fat.
New Jersey plastic surgeon Dr. Smita Ramadaman is used to seeing women for mommy makeovers. Now she's noticing a new trend, an uptick in menopausal patients. The American Society of Plastic Surgeons saying that vast majority of patients undergoing cosmetic procedures are between the ages of 40 to 69.
Seeing this shift where patients are older, they're just more aware of the changes that their bodies are undergoing and that there is something that they can do to address some of those changes so that they feel their best.
Menopause occurs in most women between 45 and 55 years old and can have a variety of symptoms, including hot flashes, mood changes, and visible changes like hair thinning, wrinkles, and hormonal weight gain.
A 50-year-old today is much different than a 50-year-old decades ago. People are a lot more active, so they want their bodies to sort of fit how they feel.
As for Anna Navallo, she's thrilled with her results and excited for the future.
I think I kind of reinvented myself and highly recommend it.
And Anne told us to be clear, this isn't something she thinks you need to feel empowered, but she says for her, who spent so much of her life focused on being a mom and a wife, that this was something she really wanted to do for herself. And she is, as she mentioned, really happy with her results, Whit.
All right, Eva Pilgrim for us. Thank you so much. We are now here with the very talented and very funny actress, comedian, writer, producer, podcaster, Michelle Buteau. Yes, everything. She does it all. Season 2 of her show, Survival of the Thickest, premieres tomorrow. And she's here to tell us all about it. Michelle, welcome back to GMA.
Yes.
It's great to see you. We were already having fun before the segment even began.
Yes.
We mentioned the whole list, the acting, the producing, the writing, all these things, podcasting. But you started your career as a television producer, right?
At local news, right? At local news, I was an editor and then also a field producer for, the stories that nobody wants to go out in the field for. And I worked at WSVN. Shout out to everybody in Miami, Deco Drive, and also WNBC. Shout out to everybody there. Tried to work here. You guys drug tested, so it didn't work out. Just kidding. But yeah, I really
we don't do that anymore, though, so you brought you right back.
Yeah, I really love it. These are my roots, and it's so fun, just the edit bay and the writers coming in, overwhelmed.
It probably makes you really good at what you do now,
Yes.
which is the whole kit and caboodle, as you created this show that we're about to talk about and show you guys. But, I've known you forever.
Yes.
We had you on Good Afternoon America as a hilarious comedian. But I do think that you have perspective when you are the boss of a show to be in that edit bay and to know how it's done. And the show, if you haven't seen it, you need to. Survival of the Thickest is so funny. It's loosely based on your essays.
Yes.
You're also a terrific writer.
Thank you.
You play Mavis, and she's a stylist, which was a very specific choice that you wanted to make for the comedy in that. Will you share why? I love it.
I thought being a stylist is a perfect parallel to comedy, where it's like you can make it could take a long time, you could be broke, and you could be rich, all on the same day. And I also have immigrant parents, and when I told them I wanted to do stand-up comedy, they were like, you want to tell jokes and we pay for school? So it's like the same thing with her parents in the shows. It's like people could dress themselves. And also I thought it was a wonderful way to showcase the discrepancy and the fat phobia and, just women and every type of oddie body or fatty baddie trying to live up to some unrealistic patriarchal standard of beauty. And how do we tackle that in the fashion industry? And so, being a stylist, the clothes speak for themselves, and so do the stories. And also being a stylist, I just want some nice clothes.
Yeah.
Netflix, can I get some nice clothes?
I feel like there was an ulterior motive.
There should always be one. Write that down. Good morning, America.
Michelle, so where we last left Mavis was a breakup.
Yes.
Definitely going through some stuff. So now as we enter season 2, what can we expect from our heroine?
Oh my goodness. Well, we start off with a bang because we start off with Mavis in Rome.
Yes.
Okay. And so she's putting
Free
herself
trip
out there. Is anything
Work
really
that one
free?
into the script, too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I wrote this beautiful episode. It kicks off the season, and it's just bigger and badder. And if there's a New Year's resolution for Mavis, it's to upgrade. She's going to do exactly what she does in her love life, in her work life. She's going to put herself out there and take a chance, because you have to get comfortable with rejection in order to get anywhere. And so that's what that is.
That's wisdom right there.
Thank you, honey.
Let's take a look at a clip.
Let's do it!
Okay, so we love this. There's a great backstory of this clip as well.
So basically, we wrote a bunch of bits for my character to do before we went to Rome, and we did a food and eating tour, which is like a food and eating, walk-in eating tour, which is like my two favorite things, the day before we shot. And the tour guide was like, look at the Roman,
water fountain.
Yeah.
Like, this is how they do it.
Yeah, and it was so messy, and I was like, can we put this in the show? And they're like, we don't have time. I'm like, please. And so the whole day, I'm checking in with my director, Kim Wynn, who's amazing. Hi, Kim, you are a bad bee. And I was like, do we have time? Do we have time? They're like, we don't have time. We're losing light.
You were kind of obsessed with the water fountain.
I really was. And then finally, and this is why I love where I have all female directors, women of color, and they're so amazing. And so it's like really nice to have like this tete-a-tete moment where Kim goes, you know what? This is your show. We should do what you want. I'm like, one take, it's all I need. So that was one take.
Wow,
And I'm so
love that.
show.
It's very funny.
Yeah, so the lesson there is to speak up for what you want, okay? Don't apologize.
Yep.
Do what you want to do.
And your gut
it'll
said
sing.
it's a great moment, and
That's
it made
the
it
TV newser, the TV newser in you, right? Yeah, we got one take to get it done.
Exactly, it's the one take. Make it work.
Exactly.
Is this my one take?
Such a pleasure. It sure is.
You made it work.
You did. Thank you so much for coming in. Yeah, congratulations on everything. Again, the new season of Survival of the Thickest premieres tomorrow on Netflix.
Now with Emmy-winning talk show host, journalist, and best-selling author Tamron Hall. She's worn many hats, and now her first children's book is out. It's called Harlem Honey, The Adventures of a Curious Kid. It is great to see you, Tamron.
I almost started crying seeing the book on Times Square.
It's pretty cool, right?
It's wild. It's amazing. It's so humbling, and I feel like the luckiest kid in the world with a kid's book.
Well, and it's a book inspired by your son, Moses.
Who is watching right now.
He's watching. Hi, Moses. Mommy's doing great work. Oh, there he is. He's so cute. So inspired by him, what made you do this?
You know, my son was born in 2019, and right before his first birthday, the world shut down. All of us inside, all of our lives changed. And when we emerged, if you will, I noticed that my son was incredibly outgoing at home. With us, he's like Mr. Cocky Swagger, he's running around. And then we'd go out, he'd hide behind me. His first birthday was when he was 2 years old. And I said, how do I support this shyness? My mother says that even though I'm outgoing right now, I was a shy kid as well. So the book was inspired on how we teach kids to face their fears and the fun that's on the other side, how curiosity and adventure can help kids adjust to change and all of those things. So really it was inspired by Moses and his friend EJ, and our little friend that's along for the ride, Layla, was inspired by 3 of his friends as well, who all showed these signs of great personalities with their parents, but on the other side, there was fear. And how do we handle that? We used to say to kids, big girls don't cry, big boys don't cry. We don't say that anymore. That's not positive reinforcement. And with fear, my goal is to give us a positive way to talk about fun on the other side of fear.
Yes, and you and I have talked about this before because both of our kids were born around the same time, and we went through that with their comfort with us, but less comfort out in the world. You also wanted to write this for boys, for boy parents.
It was so important to me. Listen, I have benefited greatly from empowering images of women. You know, I have been able to occupy this space because I watched Linda Carter with her invisible airplane tell me that I could lasso any guy. And my mom and my aunts and all of the women that I watched in this business, Carol Simpson on ABC, empowered me to be in this chair. When I had a son, it was a game changer for me to see how we build up confidence in young girls, and it's paid off. But some boys are being left behind. And it was a struggle for me to talk about that as an empowered woman, to say, if we say to a little girl, go out there and get him, we cheer that on. But with boys, it takes on a different meaning. And I'm happy to see that, you know, schools in Baltimore and New York, around the world, are looking at how we approach boys and making sure they feel as empowered as they deserve. So it was important for me to have the protagonist be a little boy. His ally is Layla, a little girl inspired by Ayana, Gia, friends of my son who've been around his life. But having this little boy lead and having this little boy be vulnerable but confident was so important. It was a journey I wasn't expecting. I'm a proud boy mom, and I am proud that many other women have joined me in this conversation to say, let's not leave these guys behind. 1 million fewer boys graduate from high school. 1 million fewer boys are entering the workspace. And this is not about a gender war. It's saying, I benefited from powerful women, and as a woman who is empowered, I want to spread that love to boys and their parents to be able to do the same by them.
Really powerful message. One other notable who's joined you on this journey, Reading Rainbows, LeVar Burton. How incredible is that?
LeVar, I've known LeVar for years, and he was a guest on the show. Even though people talk about my fashion a lot, the one thing you will never be able to get from me is my Reading Rainbow shirt. He gifted it to me like 10 years ago. It's in a vault in my home. You have to have a retina scan to get it. He came on the show and helped me promote this book that's so important. Again, on the other side of fear is fun. My son right now is in Taekwondo. He's in basketball. He was at the book signing last night. He finished his first musical improv.
Amazing.
And we still have these moments, but listen, on the other side of fear is so much fun. I'm nervous right now.
No way.
Oh,
no,
absolutely.
No.
I still get nervous, but guess what? On the other side of this is fun.
Yes.
And a friend.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
That's what this book is about.
Absolutely. Go Moses and go Mama.
Oh, I love
Congrats.
you.
Harlem Honey is out now. The Tamron Hall Show airs weekdays. And now we go to you, Ginger.
Boy mom over here.
That's
you
right.
know.
In
yellow,
Thank
too.
you.
Look at this. Yes. Okay, so we want to remind you also to tune in to tonight's season premiere of The Conners. The long-running show is starting its farewell season. Tonight's episode includes Laurie Metcalf as Jackie, who will be in a scene with her real-life daughter, Zoe Perry. The Conners airs tonight at 8/7 Central, right here on ABC.
My friend Elizabeth Hasselbeck is here with her new children's book. We're going to talk. Stay with us on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
We're back now on GMA with New York Times best-selling author Elizabeth Hasselbeck. She has a new children's book out. It's called God's Masterpiece, an adventure in discovering your worth. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. Thank you so much for welcoming me here. We're used to sharing a sideline, and now we get to share a studio. This is so fun.
Elizabeth is referring to the fact that our girls used to be friends way back when. They played lacrosse together in Connecticut. We were sad when you moved down to Nashville. And then lo and behold, there's the picture. They both ended up at the same university on the same team.
Crazy.
Standing next to each other in the team picture. There they are.
Wait, that
they
is
wear
great.
number 7 and number 8.
I mean, who knew? God's got the best plans.
Yep.
He has these girls together. Meanwhile, they do.
Oh, that's them beating each other up at practice. They really do love each other, though.
They've traded some arm bruises against
Yes.
each other, and there's nothing better than a great teammate.
That's right.
That team is just amazing, and the team of moms too. I just think we're so blessed to have each other because these girls work so hard
Yep.
and work together. It's just great to see them as masterpieces in motion, bruises and all, and checking with sticks. So.
And I like that. I like what you did just
Well,
there.
you know, gotta do that.
But I do want to say I'm so grateful to them because they brought us back together. You know, we've been friends for a long time, and here we are again, and it feels so nice to have that camaraderie on the sideline. We've got such a great big girl group.
We do.
That
we'll say go
and
doors to that.
Yes.
But I will say too, I'm thoroughly inspired by you because your daughter's gone ahead of mine, and she's amazingly strong, confident, beautiful, and it's nice to have, as a mom, a girl who's one step ahead that she can look to. So thank you for raising a great, strong one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if you know that your daughter borrowed my daughter's dress for a formal. So I mean, it's really, it goes deep. But it all comes back to kindness and raising great kids. And you've done such a great job. And you take it so seriously. You've written a couple of books. This one is beautiful.
Thank you.
It's called God's Masterpiece, and it's two things. It's a sneaky cultural lesson for little kids in beautiful artwork, but the message behind it all is even more important, and that is that beyond Seurat and Georgia O'Keeffe and Van Gogh, the masterpiece is really you, yourself, and God makes each of us our own masterpiece no matter what we look like.
Yeah.
And what a great lesson that is, and how important that is to you and your family.
Well, you're so kind to say that. It is, you know, I thought, what would it look like to have a book where these kids, I studied art in college, my dad let me paint on the walls. What would it look like to have an opportunity to know 11 great works of art by the end of the book and then get to the end with this mirror and see, you are God's masterpiece too. I think it's a message that not only in our own worth, when our kids are under a lot of pressure, you know, tons of comparison, I do think identity is under threat, you know, and who they are. And we don't get to say who we are. We have a God who determines that. And by the way, we're all still works in progress. So I think if we can see each other as his amazing, unique masterpieces, differently, wildly, beautifully made, his workmanship, then we treat each other that way too. So not just, oh, I'm a masterpiece, but guess what? You're a masterpiece too. And you're a masterpiece out there. And we get to look at each other and treat each other as valuable, high worth creations. And I just think if we can get that message in these little hearts and parents' hearts and grandparents' hearts soon, I thought, wow, before Easter, stuff your baskets with this this word for them.
It's really beautiful. It's a fun. I couldn't be happier for you, and so grateful for the messaging. Not only to be nice to others, but also be nice to yourself. To our little girls, you know, who look different, but each is beautiful in their own individual way. It's such a great message, and you put your money where your mouth is, because not only is it important to talk about kindness, but you do it yourself in the work. Since you've moved down to Nashville, I know that you and your husband Tim have decided to take on even more family, if you will. Will you share with us what you're doing with interim foster care? Because I didn't even know that you could do this.
Yeah, I know, and it's because we've had frequency. This is interim foster care is basically, think of it as short-term fostering. It's not something I ever thought I'd do, not something I ever knew there was a need for. It's basically gap standing between birth in either placement of a baby or birth and reunification of a baby with birth mom. You just stand in the gap and you welcome a baby into your home. And I didn't know it was possible till I saw an amazing friend of mine doing it so naturally and wonderfully. And she showed me the ropes, and I asked him if we should be doing this, and God put it on our hearts. And it's been 4 years of just welcoming little ones in who really do more for our hearts than we ever do for theirs. But I didn't know that there was a way to step in and give a break to a mom who is going through a crisis period or a young woman, and that we can all kind of in different ways participate in this, child welfare crisis. There are 378,000 kids in the foster care system, and this sort of gap stands keeps them out of an overcrowded system if possible.
Yes.
And then you can be a foster parent, you can do interim care, which is short term. You can wrap around a family that is.
Yep.
Look up locally interim care for infants in your local.
I know. Thank you for educating me on it. I did not know, and honestly, I know that the experience has changed your lives, and that your kids have welcomed it in. So thank you for all you do, and for making the trip from Nashville back to New York.
Oh
it's so great seeing
I just love you, girl. I'll see you on the sideline.
I'll see you on the sideline this week.
Go Doors.
Everybody, God's masterpiece. It really is one. It's a beautiful book, an adventure in discovering your worth, and it's available right now. Wow, what a day. We hope you all have a good one. We'll see you soon.
And I'll see you in Asheville tomorrow with Robin and Sam. Have a great day.